I'm going to show you how you or your sales manager could save yourself anywhere from 10 to 20 hours a week from reviewing your sales team's calls by using a GPT custom built prompt that I put together. And I'm going to show you how I put it together and how you can do just that same exact thing. So we're here on the ChatGPT website. The thing you will need to know is if you do not have a paid account on the ChatGPT site, you do need to pay the $20 a month to do that. I wish there was an affiliate. I would share it with you if I did have one, but you'll just have to get that set up on your own. You will need to do that if you want to set up these custom GPTs. So what I'm going to do is show you a quick demo of the GPT that I put together that I have our sales team utilize now that it's all set up after they do their sales calls so that they could be getting feedback in between their coaching calls with me, where I'm going to be giving them, my feedback as well. But this helps them get, real-time feedback right after their calls are done so that they can see where they can improve. So let's go ahead and do the thing. So we're going to open our sidebar. We are going to go to Explore GPTs. And we are going to the My GPT section because this is something I've already created and set up. And so that is right here, the call scribe, scalewithpros.com. So I'm just going to actually go right here. And so what I've done is I'm going to be pulling the transcript of a call that one of my sales reps did, and we are going to get the feedback together here and see how it goes. So I'm going to upload my call transcript. Okay, so boom, boom. So I've already, trained it on those couple items there. So we are going to paste the feedback. Here we go. And there is all of the call shared right there. Okay, so one of the things that you're going to notice is, we have the 7 doors framework. Basically, whatever your objections are, we have 7 key primary objections that a prospect could give us when it comes to our Scale with Pros Elite offering. And so basically, we have the GPT coached on those 7 objections. So it coaches the team member, the sales team member, on those if they maybe missed one of those objection handlers in the conversation. The other thing that we have are just sales nuances like, hey, and I have that in a doc of like, you should be talking X amount percentage of the call. You should be, using pauses strategically. You should, all of just like nuanced stuff that isn't like script particular, but like these are just nuances that you need to know. And so this is the feedback that the GPT spit out. So imagine I'm the rep. Okay, based on text, you were talking approximately 60% of the time instead of 40%. I mean, just looking at this, I would want my rep to have, spent a little bit less time talking, maybe asking more open-ended questions to be getting more feedback. Strengths observed. So we have some of the feedback here. When we're looking at areas of improvements and opportunities, one of the potential objections is like addressing like the cost of inaction. What does it cost by not taking action? That's something that could have been covered better. Desire clarification, diving into this more. Where do you envision your business being? Wave a magic wand. Where do you want the business to be? And then addressing the money door. Again, I'm not going to go through all of this, nitty gritty, but really just trying to show you an idea of like the type of feedback that you can have this GPT give you. So you can have your sales rep be able to upload the transcript of either their sales call recordings from the phone or their sales transcripts from Zoom calls. Or even if you do your sales appointments in person, what you could do is bring out a recorder and then upload it and then get it transcribed and uploaded into here so you can get that feedback. So that's just some use cases for this. And typically what we'll do is, we'll do sales training and coaching throughout the week with our reps. But this just provides another opportunity where one sales manager can't listen to 30 sales calls a week. If they have a lot of sales reps that are there, they're not all getting the attention that they need or deserve. And so what this allows you to do is after your reps do their calls, they could just drop the transcripts into here and get some, coaching and feedback directly from the GPT itself. So like this is just giving you an idea of what it can look like when you have this set up and what we've done to get ours set up. And so I'm going to segue into, okay, well, how do we set this up for, for your business in particular? So let's go ahead and go to our Explore GPTs. And again, you do need the premium $20 a month version of this. You're going to go to create a GPT. I'm just going to go to my GPTs to show you what it looks like when it's done, but you're going to click the create button here. And so I'm just going to go over to my scalewithpros.com call scribe, and I'm going to go to edit GPT. The way that I built mine here is I don't use the create, I use the configure button option. And so what you're going to be doing is you're going to name your GPT. So scalewithpros.com call scribe is just what I have this set up for. Again, this is just an internal use thing. This isn't something that, we're sharing out with other companies because it's specific to my company's script. It's specific to my company's objections, and it's specific to my company's nuances. So you'll have to set that up from your end, but I'm showing you just where I upload the thing so you can just kind of have at least some guidelines of how I've done it. So obviously you name it, description, this GPT will save you or your sales manager 10 to 20 hours a week in sales team training. So that's obviously over here. You can read that. That's where that text is going. Then the instructions that you want to give it. So what you'll notice here is I put in here the only document that the GPT should utilize as far as the script goes is the B2B Scale with Pros Elite Script Final. So that is what it's going to judge as the primary script to use. The other two documents are just to be used as resources to help coach the individual on the sales transcript that was shared. The nuances just provides some feedback that can be used to help coach the sales rep up. The 7 doors framework are just 7 doors of objections. Basically, the 7 objections that are covered in the sales script. And if they're not covered, it opens up the opportunity for them to slip out one of those doors if it's not covered in the actual presentation. And so that is me giving the GPT specific instruction of only coach to my sales script. Don't start using some other script that the GPT, has from the interwebs, like only use my script. Only coach to my script, only coach to my specific nuances, and only coach to my specific objections, because those are the only objections that can actually come from a prospect on any of these calls. And that's what I put here. And it's important when you're setting up your GPT, you tell it these specific instructions so it doesn't go off the rails. I had to edit this a few times because when I didn't have, for example, do not deviate on coaching from any other type of script, it started coaching my rep on some other thing that wasn't relevant to what my script was. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, it shouldn't be doing that. So I had to write in, do not do that. That's important. And then also giving it, instruction of, hey, coach my sales rep up on what they did well in their presentation, and then, their areas of improvement. I also wanted to analyze the amount of time they spent talking versus the time that the prospect spent talking. Because in the sales process, we typically want to see more of the time being the prospect talking versus our sales rep, because we're spending too much time telling and selling versus asking good open-ended questions. Do not deviate from the framework shared above. So again, it's important to coach it to that. Other thing I just put in here, GPT should always coach the person who's uploading their sales calls in a positive and professional manner so that it gives them the proper coaching. So just some other things that I added in here. And then the conversation starters, you'll notice right here, just upload my sales call transcript and instantly make me better, whatever the heck it says there, make my life easier, help coach me on my sales call. So basically any of those are going to bring it to you uploading your sales transcript and getting the feedback. And then from there, the knowledge base that it's pulling from, I have my sales script. So you should pull or create your script for your sales team from your company, upload your script here. The next one is the nuances. So these are just nuances of like how much time the rep versus the prospect should be talking, strategically using, pauses, like just nuanced things that would be helpful for the rep to do in their calls. And then the objections. So these are the 7 objections that we could get on any call, and then how we handle those objections in the sales presentation so we don't get them at the end of the presentation. But if we do, how do we handle them? So those are the 3 documents that I uploaded in here. So it's learning based off of those docs. And then from there, it now has the docs, it has the instructions, and it has my description, the name. And that is essentially, in a nutshell, how I set this up and how now my sales team is starting to use this and saving myself and my future sales manager that we're hiring for significantly amount of time, and at the same time helping our sales reps improve. And so this is how we become even more operationally efficient around our sales process, our sales training, is utilizing tools like this so that we can be skilling up our team. And when we look at salespeople in general, there's only 2 elements that we look at and measure. It's just is the skill and will. And the will is just the effort that the sales team is, taking to get deals done. The skill is, what we're talking about here today, is how are we actively upskilling them, giving them feedback so that they could be making incremental improvements to increase their closing rate when they're meeting with prospects. So that's what we're doing here. And so with that being said, if you don't have this, again, just go to ChatGPT, set up a premium account. You can, set up something like this, relatively quickly. Doesn't take a lot of time for the effort and time that you get back, and not having to spend as much time going through these, all of these calls with your sales team. You should definitely be reviewing them and giving them coaching and feedback, but this just helps them get some self-reviews as well. But with that being said, if you got value from this video, make sure to like it, comment, and if you want to turn your company into a high profit self-managing business, you can click the link below to have a time to talk with myself or my team for us to show you exactly how we do that. So we'll see you in the next video. With that being said, peace.